We welcome back to the room somebody who really amazed me last time he was here. Mentalist Wayne Hoffman is back with us.
Good morning.
Yeah, Wayne he was on my show about a week or two ago and blew everybody's minds.
It was awesome.
And we got to talk
so
about we have to talk about the difference between a mentalist and anything else that we've heard about.
Yeah, a lot of people confuse me with a psychic.
Yes.
Which is a very common thing because I do psychic style stunts, things that are, seemingly supernatural. So it's one of those things where, what I do is based on science and, psychology, and it's mistaken for supernatural powers.
Yeah, but it's pretty amazing.
You're not a magician either, are you?
Well, I got my start as a kid. I think every young man is into magic as a young man. So I always got into magic as a kid, but that kind of led me to be interested in the mysterious. So I studied psychology as a child, in the ways I could. But once I went to a university, that's when it really kicked in, and I started to figure out how I could use the science of the mind for entertainment. And now I travel all over the world, performing for corporate events and cruise ships and things like that.
You blew our meeting away. I think our boss heard
you.
you last time.
I forgot. You guys had me.
We had you here, and then our boss heard about you, and there was a big kind of radio group meeting, and I wasn't at that meeting because I don't like going to them. But you blew everybody away then, too. So here you are again. We're glad you're back.
What do you want to do today?
Yeah, well, let's have some fun. So we didn't have much I walked in. We had about 60 seconds before we went on air since I walked in the room. But I told Marilyn that in a second she's going to draw a picture of something. So she hasn't drawn it yet. And I see she's grabbing paper and a pen. But she's going to be drawing something.
Okay.
But in her own style, in her own way. I don't know how she's going to draw this. You're not a good drawer. Yeah. So, Marilyn, I told you specifically we wanted you to pick something that's easy to doodle. Not something that would be impossible to draw. So whatever it is that you randomly selected to draw in your mind, I want you to draw it right now. Now, I'm not going to look. I'm looking literally in the complete opposite direction of you. I cannot see. There's no reflection that I could look at.
That's
Just
true.
do me a favor and let me know when you're finished drawing.
I'll vouch for that, yeah. I don't know what credibility I have left.
Now, I want to point out to the listeners, this is completely 100% legitimate, and this was in no way set up. If anyone can prove otherwise, I will give you $1 million. That includes anyone in the studio here. So, Marilyn, are you finished drawing?
I'm done. Yes.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. And this is really going to freak you out. Last night, I woke up about 2 in the morning, and I woke up from a dream. And when I woke up from this dream, when I have dreams, they're sometimes prophetic, and I think a lot of people have that. And I had a screenshot of something that I saved. Just yesterday, I was at the Houdini gravesite in New York City, celebrating the death of Harry Houdini, who died on Halloween.
Right.
So we did a ceremony at his gravesite, and I took a screenshot of something while I was there on my phone. And last night, just after 2 a.m., I put it on Instagram. I had a feeling this might become important, so I'm going to show you. I'm going to bring up my account right now, and I'm going to hand this to you. And
I'm going to freak out.
Marilyn, this is just after it's time stamped.
End.
I also tweeted it this morning at around 6 a.m.
Okay.
A picture. It's right here. I'm going to show you what I did. Look.
Okay.
Does this make any sense?
That's crazy.
Is that what you drew?
That's a compass.
Oh my God!
Did you draw? Let me see. Did you draw north, south, east, and
yes,
west?
Yes, I did.
With like a plus sign.
Well, I just did that.
Wow, you got elaborate. You drew exactly the image.
I
with
did
circles and everything.
Yeah, like the image. We'll post it, but that's come on.
And it's time stamped at Wayne Hoffman 5 hours ago.
5 hours ago. 2. So you woke up at 2:00 and you thought compass?
I had a feeling that would come up.
Wow.
Now, I know this is radio, and you're thinking, how do we know that this is really happening? Well, I'm sitting here. I'll tell you. I saw what Marilyn drew. I see what's on your phone. You posted it on Instagram earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's 100. Again, I offer $1 million to anyone who can prove that was set up between Marilyn and I, and that we prearranged that just to lie to the listeners. That was 100% legitimate, and I can do that. And I do that in my live shows to random people selected by frisbees and paper airplanes we throw into the audience.
That's just crazy,
so,
though.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
Weird.
I don't mean to be mean. That's not me. I mean, it's just it is crazy. I can't think of another word. So when you are walking about this planet, and let's say you just give her the airport, do you you must see things that we do not see?
So to speak, I studied body language reading and neurolinguistic programming and all these other things. So yeah, I'm a normal human being, despite what you may think.
Yeah.
But I'm using my ability to pick up on things. For example, you just put your hands in your pockets.
Yes, I don't know
Now
why.
that's called a power move. You'll always see photos of Prince Charles with his thumbs in his vest.
Okay.
I call it the Fonzie. It's a power move. That means, hey, I'm owning the moment right now. And
I'm
of course,
standing here, and I never stand when I talk to people.
No, you don't. And
but
you put
you're
your hands-
standing, so I'm standing.
Right, and that's called mirroring. So these things that I do, again, I have a normal life. I turn it off and on.
Yeah.
But yes, I have the ability to pick up more than the average bear, so to speak.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
Mentalist Wayne Hoffman is with us. You want to do something with our listeners, Wayne?
Yeah, I said, stuff in the studio, great, but let's reach out to the listeners and freak them out. How many minutes do we have? Do we have some time? Or do you want to take some calls off air? Do we have a couple minutes now?
We'll take some calls off air.
Yeah,
Sure.
let's do it. So yeah, if you want to have your mind read, call into the studio. We'll take some calls during the break, and I can have some fun with some of the listeners.
What's Roger thinking right now, Wayne?
Oh, don't go there.
I don't know if he wants that on the air.
7:27 and 15 degrees. Mentalist Wayne Hoffman in the studio with us this morning. Nice to have you back, Wayne.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. You guys are so fun.
Well, so are you.
Thanks.
We want to get some listeners.
Weird way, Wayne.
We want to get some listeners involved here this morning.
Okay, I think we have Patty on the line. Now, Patty, I want you to think of two simple shapes, something you would learn in kindergarten, and put one inside of the other inside of your mind.
Oh.
Do you have two shapes in mind?
I do.
Do you have one inside of the other in your brain?
I do.
I'm sensing, are you thinking of a circle with a triangle inside?
Exactly it.
There you go.
Holy moly.
Yeah, I just saw you form it in your mind. So well done. Thanks
Are
for
you
calling
looking
in.
at my window?
Not yet.
Thank you for your call. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Mentalist Wayne Hoffman here.
It was awesome.
This is incredible. All right, we're going to go to somebody else.
Okay.
Hi, what's your name?
Lisa.
Lisa, what you're going to do is concentrate on a country right now. You're thinking of it in your mind. Concentrate on a country. I'm going to pluck it out letter by letter. I'm getting a letter A. Is there a letter A in the country you're thinking of?
Yes.
I'm also seeing a letter... Now, it keeps flip-flopping. Is it an N?
No.
Okay, it's flip-flops between an N and an L.
Yes.
I see a T in your mind as well.
Yeah.
I see an I in the beginning. Actually, I-T-A-L-Y. Were you thinking of Italy?
Oh my God! Yes.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Come on.
I was more nervous that I was going to pick the proper country in Western Europe.
You could go, yeah. You could go to, Austria, Wales. You could go to even Liechtenstein. I've had someone think of that over the phone.
Wow.
So yeah, congratulations. Thanks for calling in and letting me read your mind.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank
That's
you.
Wild.
I feel like a guest on my own show.
Why? What's happening now?
Well, Wayne has kind of taken over. Mentalist Wayne Hoffman. You know, it's so fascinating.
I know it is. I left the room, and I don't know what's going on here, but
I'm just sitting here watching in amazement.
yes. He's
By
so
the way,
good.
Wayne does a lot of corporate gigs. He did one here for Bell Media when he was here last time, and he travels all over the world. You can have him in an office near you.
Right.
And-
Could I just interrupt for a minute and say the Bell Media thing? There were a lot of people from the news station upstairs, the talk radio station, and they are tough crowd, and they were
Yeah.
blown away. So I'm just saying,
Yeah.
if you've got a tough crowd in your office, know that he's extremely entertaining.
WayneHoffman.com is how you get a hold of him. So what do you want to do now?
Well, I figured let's try something with the listeners because again, reading your minds here is one thing, but let's reach out to everybody in listener land. Now, I want everyone to focus. Now, when people talk about stuff, hey, interact with us on the radio. Oftentimes, people won't do it. They're busy driving. They're worried about eating their donut and cup of coffee. But I really want, if you want to have a wild experience right now, I want you to go with me on this. And everybody listening, try this, and everyone in the studio can as well. I want everyone to think of a number between 1 and 10 and lock it in your mind right now. Now, I could guess what you might pick right off the top of your head. So let's mix up the number. and make it something different. So take that number you just thought of and double it. So if you thought of 5, now you'll have 10. So you should have, you doubled your number. So now you have a new number. Okay? Now, let's see. How about this paper says the number 8 on it. So take your time and add 8 to that new number you have. Take your time. I'll give you a few moments.
Do you want some help, Marilyn?
I'm good, Raj, but thank you. You're so sweet.
So now
Mouth deficient here. Go ahead.
you have another new number. Now, we don't want it to be too high because we don't want to get it. So do this. If you can, divide your number in half. Cut it right in half. So then again, you'll have another brand new number. All right? And just for fun, how about this? The number you originally thought of, subtract it from the one you have right now. And we'll end there. That way, if you haven't had your coffee yet. So now, again, you have a final new number. So now you have a number that you didn't even think you'd be thinking of. So there's no way I could know. Now, if you picture a chart in your mind, okay? A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, F is 5, and so on all the way down to Z or Z being 26. I want you to pick the letter of the alphabet that corresponds to your number. So now you have a letter of the alphabet. I want you to think of any country in the world that begins with that letter. And, keep it in your mind. You don't want to say it out loud. Just keep it right in there. Any country that begins with that letter. And finally, think of the second letter of that country. And think of any animal, big or small, that begins with that letter. Think of the color of the animal. And now concentrate. Now, I've been guiding your thoughts and trying to project something to the listening audience. And what I think that I projected, if this worked, and it doesn't work 100%, but most people out there should have been picking up on this. If you are thinking of a big gray elephant in Denmark right now, then you just picked up on my projection. Wayne Hoffman. .com.
Oh my God.
Get out of this room.
Jeez, that's something else.
So yeah, that's
Give us a call, 870-1045.
That is wild.
Adriana,
Yes, hi.
what are you thinking?
I'm blown away. That was awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's a fun one.
That is a fun
That's what I thought of too. Yeah.
That's
Me too.
it's a fun one. Now, there's only so many things I can do to mass audiences without actually being able to speak to all the listeners. But that's a fun one.
Do you know what, Wayne? The shocking thing about all this is Roger and I do not think alike, and we came up with the same answer. So that's wild. That
You're
is wild.
connected in more ways than you could ever imagine.
I've never even been to Denmark.
I haven't either.
Do they have elephants in Denmark?
I don't think so. Maybe. You think they have at
That's
least one, right?
Fascinating. You're so good at what you do. You really are. And the thing is, when you're an audience member, you have to keep your mind open. You have to really listen to what you have to say. It really makes you have to listen. Your listening skills have to be honed to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because sometimes our minds go other places. So
Absolutely,
That's so
yeah.
cool.
And I try to do it in a fun way. So keep it lively. I don't try
Sure.
to be a weirdo mind reader. I try to be the guy next door and
Right.
have fun.
Okay, what's the next thing we're doing?
Well, actually, I told her, I said, I said, grab a magazine, because you had a ton of magazines in the waiting room.
Yeah.
And I said, grab a magazine. I said, open any page that you want. And I said, hold it behind your back. Take a pen or a marker and just circle the middle of the page somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So you circle a word or some words. Now, you have
So I've
that?
done that. So
Roger,
I've done that.
So you did that when I was left the
and
room.
I,
That's
and
what
I
happened.
I wasn't looking at it when I did it.
Okay.
I
So-
literally
so-
had it behind
Behind
my
your back and you
took the
circled it?
marker and made a circle on the page.
So you
Okay.
just circled a word or a bunch of words, or I don't know what's on there. But I didn't see it. You can't even see it
I
right
was
now.
out of the room, so-
Now, and I didn't touch the magazine when you did this. You did it yourself.
Yeah, I did.
So,
Honestly, I did. I had it behind my back. I didn't even look.
I want you to
made a circle.
look at whatever it is you circled right now, and I'm looking in the complete opposite direction in the corner of the room. You're directly behind me.
Okay.
I want you to concentrate on whatever you circled. Did you circle one word, a bunch of words, 5 words?
It was one word.
Okay, concentrate on it right now. Think of the word. Now, you did not write the word down. You did not tell anyone.
No, all there is a
on it.
Sharpie circle.
Here we
around
go.
It.
Think of it. What's weird is your mind kind of debated. It's almost like you debated between 2 words, and I feel like they both start with a letter C. Does that make any sense to you?
It does.
You kind of said, well, I circled 2 words, but this one I circled more, or it's for some reason it's more prominent in your mind. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Don't say too much. I'm the mind reader.
Okay. Yeah.
So
okay.
think of the word. I'll just try to get it. I'm sensing 6 letters. Are there 6 letters in the word?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, is that 6?
Yeah, it's 6.
Keep thinking. It's a weird word, but it's if you were you thinking? Are you thinking of the word like course?
Course.
Is that it?
C-O-U-R-S-E.
Now let's go back for a second because he circled it. I'm witnessing the circle
Yeah.
right now. But he circled course for sure. But
The second word you're talking about is
this-
above it on the next
Okay,
line.
do you want me to
and
try
the
to get
marker,
that?
the marker kind of went through it. So
No, don't say it. Wayne's good.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, go ahead.
Okay, just try to think of it. Now, you didn't think of this word. This isn't even part of it, but a good challenge is always good for me. I'm going to say we call this a brain buster, where someone comes up with a challenge for me instead. I'll tell you what, I'm only getting 4 letters. 4 letters?
That's right.
Yeah.
I keep seeing in my mind someone waving their finger like, come here. So the only word, is it come here?
C-O-M-E.
There you go. Awesome.
Oh
That
my
is-
God.
no,
How do
you
you
are
do
awesome.
that?
You are.
I didn't even know what I was circling when I circled it.
Yeah. Because when I looked at the circle, I thought, okay, that is
Yeah.
a course.
This-
But
this-
the
this-
other one, hang on, Tom, don't wrap me. I want to finish this up. Don't wrap me right now. This is not the time. But halfway through, as the line is going through, come, and
Yeah.
I thought, okay, well, you did mention there are 2 words. Okay, that's just crazy.
See, the problem was when I was doing it behind my back, I didn't
can't
really know if
see.
I was drawing
No,
a
I
proper
know.
circle or not.
I
So
know.
the circle isn't perfect, and part of it goes through the word C-O-M-E. So the word that I was thinking of was C-O-U-R-S-E. So.
Okay, Wayne, you were amazing again. Corporate
Oh,
events.
Wayne,
thank
Wayne,
you.
Sign this man up for your corporate events. It'll
You've got
blow
a,
your
you've
mind.
got a
Give
DVD.
commissions.
You've got a DVD out, Wayne.
I do. It's I can memorize a list of 100 objects forward and backward in order without writing them down instantaneously. And it's only because I know a trick. So I created a DVD called Secrets to a Super Memory, and it's on my website, WayneHoffman.com, along with my book, Mind Candy, that teaches a 4-step process on how to achieve goals. So that's all on WayneHoffman.com. But yeah, the memory DVD is amazing. It's
Okay.
awesome.
If you missed it the first few times we said it, it's WayneHoffman.com.
We love having you as a guest. Thank you so
Thanks,
much for
Wayne.
coming in.
Thank
Safe
you.
travels to you.